sunshine today. Johnny and Anthony tapping their shoes. Everybody got nothing but dancing to lose. Girly girl 420 with a smile so bright. Jezebel witch bringing the rhythm tonight. Sherry Berry laughing, feeling alright. 620 country boy rocking the night. Gizzy girl moving beats, baby, too. Noel and Leroy joining the crew. Band start jumping, the room comes alive. Everybody dancing when that piano drive. Love louder, clap your hands, grind all night. Everybody's dance, shake it to the left, shake it to the right. Rock Chalk families have a party tonight. The piano's rolling, the bass is tight. We're gonna boogie till the morning light. Step inside, Jason and Gail taking that ride. JD 704 and Journey bringing the sound. Flower days are spinning everybody around. 99 Customs got the jukebox hot. Julie 99 dancing like she never stops. Bonnie Ball and Butts feeling the groove. Crush Dice showing everybody how to move. Blueberry bringing that California breeze. MBK Peg moving with ease. B Miller Mutts bringing the family flame. Pop Panda worldwide knows the name.
Hello to everyone. How's everybody doing? Let me get this off of here. Sorry I was late. You know me, I stand up for people, and anyway, I was standing up for someone, so I was a little bit late. Here we go. So what we're going to go over tonight, there's a couple things. We're going to go over some of the motions that was ruled upon in Texas County. And let's see here. I'd posted it on my community post. I don't know if anybody saw it, but if you didn't, we're going to go over it. There was quite a few, but I just picked the ones that I thought was very interesting. I see Gail's in the chat. Actually, let's call out everybody in the chat. I know Faye's in here, Journey's in here, Yippee-Ki-Yay, Jezebel Witch, April, Gail's in here, Jizzy Girl, Pet Mom, good to see you. I'll get your wrench here in a little bit. Beach Baby. All right. Here we go. So I picked the ones that I thought would interest you guys. So we're going to go over it. Updates from the motions that was done on 7/30/2026. Number 9 was state will not be allowed to use inflammatory language about defense counsel. So what that means is the state can't stand up there and talk bad about the defense counsel. And I guess they felt like they had to have that as a motion. So, number 10 was lack of remorse can be a factor used in stage 2, but not stage 1. What that would mean is on the second stage of the trial. I did not see it on the community post. That's okay. It's there. It's okay. Number 14, state not allowed inflammatory language about mitigation evidence. 35 was leading questions on direct will be prohibited. 36 was the medical examiner will be a doctor and allowed to testify about the pain experienced by the victims. And then motion 37, Motion denied to prohibit jury's dispersal. Procedures and safeguards will be employed at the time of trial. Defense wanted to start putting stipulations on the jury, and the judge says we'll wait till the trial. 38, court will allow crime scene photos and actual photos of the items. Defense was trying to keep from getting them photos being able to be shown in the trial. Judge ruled they can be shown. Number 40 was they're going to let the jury know that they cannot make their decision based on sympathy for the family. They have to go by facts. 42, court will do a 9 to 5. There will be times that court will start early and times court will go late, but there will be no weekends. 43 was defense to argue last. The defense wanted to be the last one in the case to argue. The judge denied that and said the state bears burden of proof. Statutory order of trial will be followed, which means the state will go last. 44, motions to allow separate jury to decide punishment. That was denied. The judge said he had no authority for that. Not only that, it's going to be hard enough to get a jury to hear this case, let alone try to get a different jury to do the punishment. And listen, I'll be the first to say I hope it's the death penalty. That's what it is a death penalty case. Number 45 was motion to allow journalists to record, video, or televise. That was denied. There are many possible pitfalls with cameras in the courtroom that could thwart the goal of a fair trial. This is a public trial. Reporters have access to watch the trial and then report what they have seen. Cameras have never been allowed in the First Judicial District and are prohibited by local court rules. Now, the way I read it when I looked it up is a judge can rule that he can have cameras in the courtroom. But I've said from the beginning that I felt like the reason Tad's attorneys wanted video in the courtroom is because I don't know how well Buddy Leach is going to do. I hope he does great. But I don't know how well that DA is going to do. And if it's on video and it's out in the public, there's not a way to hide anything that's done. So I don't know. That's my thought on it. That's my opinion on it. I hope I'm wrong about Buddy Leach. And I hope he knocks it out of the park. I hope he comes in and I go, damn, I didn't know he was that good. That's what I hope for. You know, I see this two ways. I saw that Beach Baby had made in comments that she was against it being televised. And I kind of see that too, because I think I know Tad's got two really good attorneys. I don't know how well Buddy Leach is going to do. So let's get to the rest of them. Defendant's request of unlimited time limits with his counsel was denied, but the judge did say with the sheriff present, judge told the court with the sheriff present, access to defendant at all reasonable times possible. So there you go. Tad wanted a shaving kit. That was granted each day before trial. State's request for the Harjo hearing granted by agreement and will be heard September 23rd at 11 a.m. Number 11, irrelevant statements made of children. Court orders defense to file a response within 20 days. Then the state has to file within 10 days. And then they're going to talk about it on September 23rd. I don't know what statements they're talking about that's been made about the children. Maybe about Cora's daughter. I don't know. But that one kind of threw me off. Now, this was the big one. Defendant Cullum's motion to sanction district attorney. Defense asked gag order be lifted for them. Purpose of the order was to avoid the trial of this case from being conducted in the media. Statements made by counsel of the state was limited to a single issue and was meant to clarify falsity in the media. This is where they was talking about him talking to Julia Thatcher. Court finds that statements to the media and blog did violate the terms of the gag order. Court reprimanded the state, which is Buddy Leach, and ordered that they reread the order and refrain from any further violations. Court finds there was no harm or prejudice to defendant. Motion was denied. Motion to lift the gag order? Denied. All motion in relief? Denied. Gag order will remain in full force and effect. And they were supposed to have a telephone conference on August 5th. And the state's supposed to prepare journal entries for all the motions that was ruled upon. So, and Beach Baby says they're going to tear them apart. I don't know. Listen, we can only hope that Buddy Leach can do a good job. Journey says they can show it at a later date, like the next day, meaning we all will be one day behind. That's better than nothing. That way, nothing gets shown by mistake. Listen, no, they don't want any of the trial. You cannot have your telephone in there, nothing. They want nothing leaking out of that courtroom. Only a court reporter is allowed to record. And she's doing it like all court reporters do. No video. The only cameras in there is, they're not audio, I believe, but they're like for security. They don't want anything out there that could be tore apart. And listen, after Buddy Leach already went against the gag order, I see why the judge did that. I see Justified's in here. Hope you guys like the new song. I tried to mix it up, did some boogie woogie. But anyway, so trial's going to start on October 19th. That's when they'll start picking the jury. I noticed that a lot of the subpoenas come back and has then people reporting on October 20th. So we'll just have to wait and see how it's going. Hiya, Johnny. Good to see you. So we'll keep up on it. Like I said, there was so many motions. Some of them, I feel like Tad's attorneys are just filing them to see what'll stick. So there was a lot of them. So I just tried to pick the ones that I thought would interest everybody in the chat. So there's where we're at with that. Now, listen, I got something else that's really disturbing that I'm going to bring to you guys. It's the Jesse Butler case. If you guys remember, me and Justified went down, did the protest in Stillwater, Oklahoma. He's now hit his birthday as of midnight last night. His whole record's being wiped clean. But that ain't the worst of it. I mean, I feel like he got away with rape. As a couple of victims come forward, he even strangled them. But what his attorney did in court yesterday is totally crazy. I can't even believe it. And I'll say this, they got a whole new district attorney. The district attorney that was in Stillwater in Payne County, she retired, the judge retired. They got a whole new district attorney, and he stepped into office last week. And he had some things to say. Had some things to say about what Jesse Butler's attorney said in court. Now, I'm going to tell you it's going to be hard to listen to because there's no cameras in there. It's just what people's reporting, but so many people reported it. And but his attorney's saying that Jesse Butler's the victim. And we're just going to play some of it. But listen, I found it to be very disturbing. I think it's a slap in the face to the victims. And I think everybody should be talking about Jesse Butler. No, you cannot take an audio recorder. Cannot take an audio recorder in Oklahoma courtrooms. As a matter of fact, you can't even take your cell phone in there. So now there is a thing that the Senate is trying to pass in Oklahoma to start getting cameras in the courtroom. And they're supposed to do a pilot project of 12 counties. And the reason they're doing that is because they're short court reporters. I forgot how many court reporters they're short, but they're short a lot of court reporters. And I thought I had it pulled up. But we're gonna go ahead and watch this Jesse Butler thing. But they want cameras in the courtroom because they don't have enough court reporters. So cases aren't being heard because there's not enough court reporters. Well, my saying to that is, Even if you have cameras in the courtroom, you still have to have court reporters. There's no way to get around not having court reporters. You have to have them in the courtroom. Now, let me find the Jesse Butler. Law and Crime just released something, less than an hour ago. They did a pretty good job with it. So we're gonna use theirs. I had it pulled up, but I don't know where it went. I got so much. If you've seen my computer, you'll be like, "Oh, Lordy, I've got a lot. I've got a lot pulled up." Anyway, they did a live with Just in the Nick of Crime. As a matter of fact, Just in the Nick of Crime was live on TikTok last night while he was waiting. While he was waiting to get in his piece on the law and crime. So we got to see the side. We got to see the side from him waiting for them to do his piece on the live. It's pretty interesting. All right, here we go.
Oklahoma teen who pleaded no contest to horrific rape charges involving two ex-girlfriends at his high school is officially a free man. His story spread like wildfire last year when the public learned that Butler was granted youthful offender status, meaning his punishment was slashed from decades in prison to months on probation. But now, as he finished up his so-called sweetheart sentence, a newly elected district attorney is vowing to keep pursuing justice for Butler's victims. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. This story is outrageous in the most frustrating of ways. As of midnight last night, now 19-year-old Jesse Butler of Stillwater, Oklahoma, has been discharged from court-ordered supervision, a punishment he received after entering a no-contest plea to rape and assault charges, then having his case granted youthful offender status. August 4th marks his 19th birthday, and that meant instead of spending decades behind bars, he received probation, which included counseling, community service, and a $3,300 restitution payment. If he failed, he could have faced a 10-year sentence in prison. But during a court hearing on Monday in Payne County, Oklahoma, officials confirmed that he was being discharged with supervision. According to News 9 in Oklahoma, Butler's attorney says the next step is to file a motion seeking dismissal of the case and expungement of the record. I mean, again, we are talking about a no contest plea to rape charges. And I'll be speaking in a moment.
Again, this is Jesse Butler out of Stillwater, Oklahoma. He raped at least two girls, came forward, strangled them. One of them had to have surgery. And his dad was a athletic director for OSU, Oklahoma State University. His dad was also a previous athletic director at LSU, Louisiana. So his dad has connections. Is that what helped him get to such a good plea deal? I don't know.
Moment with content creator Justin Shepard, host of Justin the Nick of Crime. You've probably seen him on social media. He really helped rocket this story to the national stage. So we want to get his reaction to the latest news. And we're also going to be sitting down with the attorney representing one of the victims' families. And she is going to help break down what went down in court for Butler's final hearing. And just wait until you see what Butler's attorney apparently said in the courtroom. Now, ever since news of Butler's crimes started to spread, there's been outrage. And it's not just over the decision to classify Butler as a youthful offender, but that Butler could eventually have his record cleared, and that it was possible that he could go on to commit more crimes because the charges that he faced were so serious. Back in 2024, two of Butler's ex-girlfriends came forward alleging horrifying abuse. One teen, identified in court records as LS, says after getting ice cream, Butler drove her to a parking lot and tried to rape her in his car. According to an affidavit filed with the court, quote, LS reported she yelled and told him no repeatedly and tried to push him off of her, but was unable to overpower him. LS reported Butler told her he was sorry for what he was about to do, but he had to do it. But then when he took her back to her own car, he allegedly warned, quote, "You're not going until I'm finished." It's terrifying. The other girl, who's identified in court records as KS, says Butler assaulted her too. In the affidavit related to her case, an investigator detailed what she said happened when she was house sitting for a family friend. Quote, Butler expressed a desire to have sexual intercourse with her at the house. KS reported she did not want to do anything at the house. Butler became angry, came up behind her, put his arm around her neck, and strangled to unconsciousness.
Now let's remember, he got found guilty. Was looking at over 70 years. Then they changed it to him being a youthful offender, and he basically got nothing. It's crazy how this case went.
She could not breathe, scratched at his arms, and tried to get away, but could not free herself. KS woke up on the floor of the living room after losing consciousness. KS reported there were red marks across her neck after Butler strangled her. Approximately 15 minutes after strangling her, Butler initiated sexual intercourse with her.
All right.
KS also claimed that Butler had recorded himself choking her, and police have said they later found those images on his phone. Both girls reported him to their school in September 2024. One got an emergency protective order, but she and her family claimed that Butler violated it. He would end up facing a violation of protection order charge alongside his other serious felony charges. Arrest warrants were issued in January and February of 2025, but they weren't executed for weeks. Butler was finally arrested, though, on March 4th. And we have the body cam footage from that day, which shows the moment detectives arrived at his home.
Hello. Now, a lot of people got really upset at this body cam, how nice they was treating Jesse Butler and his mom. This is going to be a video of his mom going up to get Jesse. They're at the house. Again, is it because his parents are so well invested in Stillwater? Could be possible.
Hello. Are you Jackie?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Jackie. I'm Detective Bruce with the Stillwater Police Department. We're here because we have a warrant for Jesse's arrest. I assume you know that already. Okay. Is he here?
Yes.
Okay.
I told him not to answer the door till I got home. He's scared to death,
So here's what's gonna happen. Like, we're gonna take him into custody. His bond is $25,000.
Okay, so he's scared. He's the one that did all this. He's scared, and she's worried about how long he's going to be in jail. It's crazy.
Okay.
Once he gets to the jail and we get him booked in, well, I guess on the way to the jail, I guess you could contact a bondsman.
Yeah.
Or I mean, if you have 25 grand lying around, you can do that. But if you contact a bondsman, then they can post his bond and he can get right out today.
Okay.
So, and
Like,
during
what kind of time frame does that look like? Just out of curiosity, like midnight tonight or
no,
an hour?
like you can contact a bondsman and it would be like an hour and a half or something.
Candy Baker, I'm sure y'all know Candy.
So
she's the one that told me.
it's a pretty quick process.
Okay.
We just like have to get him booked in, and then once he's booked in, and just so you know, he is a juvenile, so he won't be like with any adults. Like he can't be housed with any adults.
Okay.
So there is a chance that he may be moved over to Payne County. But for right now, depending on how long it takes you to get with her and get bond set up,
her right back. So
then he'll probably just be at our facility at the city of Stillwater.
Okay.
And she can
Whose
come over
call
there.
is that?
I agree. It's good old buddy network. I mean, like I said, his Stillwater, Oklahoma, I mean, they have a big wrestling program, but Oklahoma State University is a pretty big college. And his dad was the athletic director. He had connections.
It just like we can only hold him for 6 hours.
Oh, okay. So if I get it done now, we're good. He's not going to be moved.
No.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Yeah, he shouldn't be. The only big holdup is if we have somebody else in the jail because we can't have them intermingle. So I think they're booking somebody and it could hold us up like maybe 15, 20 minutes, something like that. But it's not going to be a long thing generally.
We're ready to obviously tell our story too.
Yeah.
Jess, it's Mom. Open the door. Give me your wallet and phone and stuff. So, okay. Your what?
They're in the car.
Well, okay, it's fine. It's not locked or anything, is it? Okay. So, Can you tell him what you just told me, or?
Yeah. So we're here. We're obviously going to place you under arrest. There's a warrant for your arrest. We're going to take you to the jail. I told your mom that she can contact a bondsman, and you shouldn't be very long. But there just is a process for paperwork and stuff. But right now you do have to come with us, and I do have to put you in handcuffs. So turn around for me.
You have to put him in handcuffs?
Violent harassment, how to transport somebody in custody.
How about you? You know we're doing this. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll get you out for me. All right, stay silent. Rick knows about this. Candy's on this. Dad's on his way. We're coming to get you, okay? Stay strong, okay? Say your prayers.
I agree. The way she was rubbing his arm and like, I get so angry every time I see this, but this is part of the show, so I'm going to play it. But just the way she was begging him, what he did was wrong. And guess what? You think he's going to stop? He basically got no punishment. Do you think he's not going to rape anymore? Is this going to stop?
It's a ticking bomb. Tick tock, tick tock.
Well, now he's win a year. He's hit that legal age. Everything's going to drop. So it's going to be for the public. We need to follow him everywhere he goes and let everybody know what he's did.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will. He's going to go right to the city of Stillwater jail, and if you'll just contact her, then she does this all the time. She knows what to do.
Yeah.
Make sure
Okay.
she knows Stillwater Police Department, not a county.
Stillwater Police Department
We're the ones
on
that-
Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let them know that
perfect.
we're the ones that picked him up.
And
They
when
don't-
you say we are the ones.
Stillwater PD.
Stillwater PD.
Yeah.
Okay.
That way they don't think he went like straight over and he's over at the county.
Positive experience for a child.
Hey, I can fast forward through some of this because this really
Tensions
gets better.
rose when Butler's attorney asked to make a statement. He reportedly talked about his client's innocence and suggested that his client was the real victim in all of this, not the two young girls he assaulted. That apparently led to tears from the victims, as you can imagine, and a passionate response from the newly elected district attorney for Payne County named Jeremiah Gregory. He was in the gallery of the courtroom during the hearing, and here is the new DA's full statement. Quote, "Today was the final hearing in the matter of the criminal case against Jesse Mack Butler. Today's hearing included disingenuous assertions from the defense regarding the defendant's innocence, that he was the victim in this matter, and that the victim's assertions were false and had no bearing. The defense portrayed that somehow the perpetrator suffered more than these victims. What was said was insincere, untruthful, and affront to these victims and what they had endured. Nothing has made my blood boil more. I did not know this was going to be allowed, nor did the defense attorney reveal he intended to make any kind of statement. The statements made in court were inappropriate, to say the least, and I will not remain silent without contradicting such assertions. I have asked the court to allow me to supplement the record to refute these egregious statements made by the defense so that the victims of these crimes may be heard." This case was filed and prosecuted, and the defendant was pled and sentenced a year ago prior to my assuming office last Friday. I want the public to understand that in cases where a defendant either has pled or has been found guilty by a judge or jury, the United States Constitution says the defendant shall not be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb. This is the double jeopard clause of our Constitution. So the government...
So I'm going to stop that right there. So yeah, so his defense attorney got up there, the victims were there, and basically made it sound like that Jesse Butler was a victim, more of a victim than they were. This is crazy how in Oklahoma they get away with this. Also, 3 years ago, the DA for Payne County, same area, was arrested. Okay, we went over this a couple months ago. DA got arrested. I'll play the clip of that too. But he just got, I believe, 20 years for SA crimes with children. The old DA. So what's going on in Payne County? I see Yippee Kaye says, sadly, his next victim could be unalive. That's true. And when there are zero consequences for his actions, he will repeat. I absolutely wanted him behind bars for the 70 years. But I guess in still, money talks. That's right. And I agree. I agree with that totally.
Government of the state of Oklahoma cannot prosecute a defendant a second time for the same offense after a defendant has already been convicted, nor can the government of the state of Oklahoma hand out more than one.
Now, I do like this because that's true. You can't do double jeopardy in the state. But what this DA is saying is we can go to the federal government. That's a whole different entity. So he's referring it to the federal government. Let's hope the federal government does something.
One criminal punishment for the same offense. The Constitution I was sworn to uphold unambiguously prohibits it. However, the federal government is a separate sovereign entity from the state of Oklahoma where double jeopardy has not attached. Therefore, my office will be submitting this case to the appropriate federal agency for prosecutorial review of this matter. I cannot undo what has already been done, but I can and will continue to stand as a strong voice for all victims of violent crime. This is not the only threat of federal action against Butler and others involved in the case. Last December, the family of LS filed a lawsuit in the Western District of Oklahoma against multiple parties, including the city of Stillwater, Independent School District number 16 of Payne County.
Listen, I want to make sure everybody knows this too. The girls that this happened to was in high school at Stillwater. This guy, Jesse Butler, was still allowed to come on the campus, go to games, and be right where the victims were. He was never stopped from going on the campus. So should the school be sued? School district? I think so. I think it's a good lawsuit. I don't think that was fair to the victims. If they go to the grocery store, they have to run into him. They constantly see this guy.
Jesse Butler and his parents, Jackie and Mac, and 2 school employees. We checked on that case. It appears to still be working its way through the courts. Multiple motions and briefs have been filed, but not much has happened on the docket since March of this year. The plaintiffs are seeking compensation in excess of $75,000. Joining us now to talk more about this, content creator Justin Shepard, host of Just in the Nick of Crime. You can find him at that handle on social media. Thank you for taking the time to be with us. You've been very outspoken on this case and really helped make it a national news story. I think for a lot of people who are hearing about it for the first time, there's just this question of how did this deal come together? Walk us through like how this came to be after Jesse Butler was charged.
So this really is kind of insane because if you look at what his charges were, you look at what he did, you look at the evidence that's supposedly on his phone, how he walked away with the youthful offender deal is really mind-boggling. You know, how he actually got this deal, it's all speculation at this point. You know, when you look online and listen to the rhetoric and the discussion and discourse that's going on, you know, here's what I can tell you. This occurred in Stillwater, Oklahoma. His father, whose name is Mac Butler, used to be the former director of athletic operations for OSU in a small college football town. So a lot of people have connected the dots and said, well, and again, I'm not saying this definitively, I'm just giving kind of the discourse that, you know, maybe it's well-connected family. There's some money at play. He's an athlete, you know, in high school. And, you know, it's one of those typical stories we hear. We don't want to ruin a young man's career. So originally when he was first charged, he was going to be charged as an adult. And then all of a sudden it came back that they were going to look for youthful offender. And he accepted a plea deal, which basically had him serve no time. A little bit of community service, was supposed to take some sex offender classes or, you know, some type of therapy, which apparently they couldn't find the exact one that he needed. So they let him sub that one with something else. And he got to like do kind of therapeutic Lego building and whatnot, supposedly. So it really is it's kind of asinine. And, you know, as of we're recording this, as of midnight, like a few hours ago, his record is now completely wiped clean.
Well, because, you know, I saw yesterday and like his attorney apparently made statements that when you hear the allegations to even, and I get it, if you're a defense attorney, your job's to defend your client, but at the same time to start saying that he's the victim, that Jesse Mack Butler is the victim. And, you read through what he admitted to doing, like we're not talking allegedly anymore of this. And then they said they're going to move to expunge his record. Like, how likely is it that that's something that's actually going to happen?
I think it's 100% going to happen. And let's talk a little bit more about what you just said. So his defense attorney basically spent 10 minutes, including getting apparently teary-eyed emotional, talking about what an amazing client Jesse was and how much grace he showed his accusers. And I saw that when that was sent to me. I'm kind of here with my jaw on the floor.
Now, that's ridiculous. Again, the true victims was in that courtroom, but here this defense attorney is making Jesse Butler out to be the victim. That's all kinds of wrong.
Like, really, how much grace he showed the girls that he raped and strangled to the point that one of them needed surgery. Like, he showed, like, it is mind-boggling the way they handle this and how his family's been so wonderful to deal with. In the meantime, these girls who he abused, they're going to have to spend the rest of their life with both physical and emotional scars, because the one who had to have her neck repaired from where he strangled her, that's...
Now, hold on. Let's not forget, Jesse Butler's parents have money. You can best believe that attorney costs him a lot of money.
Scars still there. It's going to be a reminder every time she looks in the mirror.
And, you bring that part up because it's chilling.
What did you say, Journey?
I said, sue them. I didn't hear nothing more about that. Did they ever try to sue him or civil suit?
They're in the process. They're in the process of suing him. But the point is, this kid didn't get in any trouble, and he's going to be back out in public. So he can go around raping these women. These were children. They were in high school. Everything was on his phone. He was looking at 70 years. And then they moved it to a youthful offender. He got a year's probation. Now his record's being wiped clean. That's not okay.
No, and I'd never heard of that before, youthful offender. Do you know what I mean? I'd never heard of that one.
Well, you know why? Because anymore, if you're 16 and you commit a bad crime, they choose to try you as an adult anywhere. They try you as an adult, but not with him.
Yeah, they do.
Him down to a youthful offender.
And this wasn't a small crime. This was pretty big. I mean,
oh yeah, at least
it was pretty big.
Had to have surgery. He strangled these girls. It's not okay. So entitled. This predator needs to go down. Yeah.
There's kids going to prison or getting something on their record for having a girlfriend. Just say you're 17 and they're 16. They're getting a record for dating a girl willingly.
Not only that, it wasn't just sex. He strangled them. This wasn't just.
I was just saying.
Your boyfriend.
No, I was just saying the ones that are like young and they have a girlfriend and the parents press charges on them, they get big time for consent. And he did nothing when he did such a crime.
Not only that, when we covered this case, one of the victims was screaming, and the mom knocked on the door to see if Jesse was okay. Didn't help the girl at all. Did not help the girl at all.
What kind of mother she is. We already know what kind of mother she is. Her son can do no wrong.
Well, I don't know if you.
It's always the women's fault. It's always the women's fault. Yeah, because she knows, because she's one of them.
Well, don't you remember that her husband now, Jesse's dad, was actually married years ago, and he went after her, which is a much younger lady. She's much younger than Jesse's dad, Mac Butler.
Yeah, we know what kind of woman she is. Yeah, a marriage breaker upper. She wants something, she's going for it.
Jesse could end up in Nebraska. Jesse could end up anywhere. He's a baseball player. He's getting his record expunged. So when he goes to the new campus, wherever it may be, they won't know about his history. It'll be gone.
But We just got to wait. Tick tock, tick tock. We just got to wait. I mean, it's sad to say, but there's nothing else we can do. Yet wait, because it's going to happen.
I don't feel that way. I feel like there is things we can do. Keep talking about it. Keep showing his face. Follow him everywhere he goes, where he don't want to be anywhere. I don't think we need to wait until he does it to somebody else, because next time they might be dead.
No, not like sit and wait. I mean, put the word out and everything. But I mean, something's going to happen. He's just going to lose it.
I think public shaming him is going to be the best thing. That's my opinion. Public shaming him. Okay, I'm going to finish this here.
I hope we can get him good. I hope we can get him good by shaming him.
Well, he's not going to stop raping people, because obviously he was looking at 70 years. Also, when they moved him to a youthful offender, he missed 2 of his probation meetings. He didn't get any kind of sanction for it either. One of them, his phone was dead, he said, and the other one he overslept. Really?
And you know, these people that got sickness with his sexual shit, right? There's no cure for that, okay? So, yeah, where's the treatment? Where's the treatment? That he get no treatment because there's really no cure for it.
He was supposed to have treatment, but they couldn't find the right program for him. As Justin said here, he did like a Legos class. What?
No, that's bloody bullshit, though, isn't it? That's bullshit. You couldn't. How come everybody else has to get the class going? They managed to. These sex offenders, they managed to get it.
Everybody else gets sent to jail when they don't show up to a probation meeting. He missed 2.
Yeah. They will come right away and arrest you. Your probation officer says, out for your arrest. And they go get you.
Jezebel Witch says his punishment should be attacked like he did his victims. That at some point during his free walk, a giant bear of a man could spring from the shrubs and attack him like he did those innocent girls. It's just crazy how he's able to walk. 99 Custom says we got to stop slapping people on the wrist in this country. Need to make examples out of them. But listen, Oklahoma is one of the worst I've seen. And Oklahoma is still about the good old boy system. Who you know. And a lot of people get off of things. Yeah, that's like the Kansas Moms case. If people wouldn't have kept looking or showed up asking questions, would they have ever even tried to find who did this to Jilian and Veronica? I don't know. It makes me wonder. Okay, here we go.
Thing to read, and you think of the scars, and then you read the statement here. So there's a new DA who seems to be very much, just this year becoming the new district attorney, and really wants to see something done about this case. Unclear what he is going to be able to do now that we're kind of down the road like this. But you have the previous DA, she's retired, Laura Austin Thomas, and she was the one who ended up negotiating this deal, right? And so she puts out a statement in December, and this was after, and you did a lot in making this a national story. Then the body cam video comes out and people are like, wait a second, this kid is a youthful offender status for this. And I shouldn't say kid because he's 19 years old. He's a grown man. But I just want to read part of the statement and then we can talk about it. The district attorney's office carefully evaluates every case submitted for prosecution to determine the strengths and weaknesses of the available evidence and potential defenses. The charges in this matter allege conduct by a 16-year-old male directed at similarly aged young women. Most crimes committed by persons under 18 must be filed in juvenile court where proceedings are confidential and have no potential for incarceration in the adult system. A significant number of more serious crimes provide the option of filing as a youthful offender. As a youthful offender, the accused has an opportunity for rehabilitation but can be transitioned to adult status.
Okay, so I just received a Facebook message and I'm going to read it to you guys. When families intertwine in the judicial system and political power, it's all in how much money you have and if you're tied to something big, like a college. Look up Kyle Corley. He's an attorney in Stillwater, has multiple felony DUI charges. Hell Rock, he missed a couple days of court weeks ago, and they didn't arrest him or send OSW like we would get. Instead, he gets a new court date. His dad is Judge Philip Corley. Anyway, his wife was related to A.G. Drummond, which is the Attorney General for Oklahoma. Lots of corruption. and OSU ties. Let's just hope he's not our next governor. Yeah, I agree.
Mm.
Okay, here we go.
An adult punishment if those efforts fail. A much more limited number of crimes allow the state to file charges in adult court from the beginning. The youthful offender sentence imposed against Jesse Butler requires him to
I
complete
see you, Mud.
his rehabilitation plan successfully, including an aggressive schedule of therapy with a specialist in sex offender treatment. And should he fail, he faces reclassification as an adult and sentence of 10 years in prison. And so this statement was put out in December, and we'll talk. There's another part to this that we'll talk about later. But like, he was really only in this program for about a year, right? So it's like you have this violent crime that he's admitted to, and then, you know, I'm not shortchanging the effectiveness of therapy, but to think like 1 year later, hey, you're good. It seems, and I know he's like under supervision now, but the idea that this is on track potentially to be expunged, it just seems like, I don't know if it's a flaw with the program itself or the people who negotiated the plea, but it's like, how is it if you mess up on this part, you go to prison for a decade, but if you complete it, like going to therapy, then you're good to go. It just seems like it just seems flawed from what I'm reading on the surface here.
Yeah, and I think that there's a lot of that we can kind of pick apart and discuss. Because I think first, let me go back and say, I think that language is important. And I think every aspect of this, from Laura Austin Thomas to Judge Worthington to basically everybody who was involved in this, wording was chosen deliberately. So yeah, the girls were, I think, 15, 16 years old when the abuse happened. He was 16, 17 when it happened. And she uses the term young women. These are girls. They're not women. They are girls. They are children. By saying young women, and I think that, you know, this is an issue that becomes normalized too much. By calling them young women, it's like, okay, well, they're adults too. So, you know, this is not as, you know, it's not as big of a deal. You know, you don't get the outrage when it comes to, you know, adults this happening to versus kids. These are kids. So that's the first thing I want to say. The second thing I want to say is, yeah, when you're talking about the sex offender treatment, my understanding was they couldn't find a therapist that fit specifically in the parameters of what he needed. So they've gone through and adjusted the course of his rehabilitation plan throughout this. But here's something else that's important that I think your audience needs to know. Not only is Jesse somebody who doesn't know what the term no means, and forced himself, threatened, he strangled these girls. And I want you to think about this.
Yeah, and he could have killed him.
Is one of those key lethality indicators, right? If somebody strangles you in, you know, intimate partner violence, then there is a 750% increased chance that they are going to kill you. Now, you also have to think about that part of this situation, and this was on Jesse's phone. They have this evidence supposedly on his phone where he strangled her and recorded it. He strangled this girl one time to the point that she passed out, knew right when to stop, woke her up, and then strangled her again so that he could get it on film or get it on camera. So my point to that is you have somebody who's 16, 17, 18 years old that already knows, for lack of a better term, the precision of strangulation to know right when to stop. To me.
So I see, Girly Girl probably just got off work. Girly Girl, this is the Jesse Butler case where he was looking at 70 years, and they ended up trying him as a youthful offender. He turned 18 at midnight, and now his record is going to be wiped clean. Mm-hmm. And his attorney in court yesterday basically for 10 minutes said how Jesse Butler was the victim. With his victims in the courtroom, said how Jesse Butler was a victim. So.
And how did his lawyer say he was the victim?
Well,
how did he say it? Like he was a good boy or what? Like
yeah, he was a great client. His parents were great.
Yeah, that don't make you fucking innocent.
It's just sick all the way around how they did it. So bad.
Yeah, his lawyer's sick too, to even think that way.
And when we went down and protested, when this was still being decided on whether he was going to be a youthful offender, we had a lot of people come out and protest. A lot.
Yeah, you went live, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah. It was.
Are you going down there? Are you going down there for the? Oh no! What am I talking about? I'm talking about another case.
Yesterday, let's hope that this new district attorney, when he turns it over to the federal government, because you can't have double jeopardy, and the state's already decided what they're doing with them, they're done. Maybe the federal federal government can take this case over. Who knows?
Yeah, until he gets another case. And I hope they hit him hard with another case. As soon as they get another case, that's a different matter. That's a different matter. I was just hoping he did it to somebody else and they could have come forward.
I'm sure there's other victims out there. And if other victims come forward, I'll have to look and see what the statute of limitations is for rape in Oklahoma. But, I mean, if somebody new came forward, that would be a whole new case.
It depends what he did to him. You know, if he just.
Not only that,
I mean,
he had all the evidence on his phone, everything. He admitted to it. So
yeah, he
if
did.
wait a minute, if you're a victim and you just watch this guy basically walk when they had all that evidence of him, you're going to be pretty shy about coming forward too. Because look, they had evidence on him and he still walked.
Yeah, well, they offered him that plea deal, didn't they? That's what they did, and he took it. They offered him, and who offered him that plea deal? The state.
The DA, yep, and she retired right after the case. So did the judge. They both retired.
Am I Faye? I was moving around, so maybe.
Okay, we're going
to. That is an indicator of somebody who we are going to see again. And next time, his victim might not be so lucky. And when you don't have somebody in the right course for rehabilitation, then how are you dealing with that? How are you dealing with the fact that you're saying that after him doing this in 1 year, like you said, and not even a year, because it took time to find this person, you know, this therapist, whoever he's going to, or whatever program. So what, 6 months, 8 months, 9 max that he's doing therapy, and now he's all of a sudden cured. He doesn't need to keep doing it. And there's never been accountability on his side. You can tell that from the DA, or not the DA, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, the DAs, the previous ones, and you can tell that from his attorney as well, because there's never been an apology to the victims. The victims have always been treated, dragged through the mud by his family, by the district attorney, by his attorney. So I think what you have here is a situation where you have a young man who has zero accountability for what he did. He's going to go on and do it again. If I was a betting man, I'd put money on it. And I think it's just a matter of when, not if.
And the second paragraph of this statement that the former DA put out just stood out to me, where she writes, years of experience tell us that juries often struggle with convicting defendants based upon delayed reports of sexual assault between people in ongoing consensual dating relationships, and the trial process can be very traumatic for families. Nonetheless, after consultation with the victims and their families, we chose to file this matter and to file it in adult court.
Listen, when we was doing the protests in Stillwater, there was a group of girls that came up to me. They were in high school. One of them's mom was a teacher. Anyway, the kids from the school, even though they were threatened by the school district that if they came and they participated in the walk against Jesse Butler, that they would be docked from school and get in a lot of trouble. Finally, they didn't, but a lot of people showed up. A lot of kids from that high school, females and males, showed up to protest against Jesse Butler.
Court rather than juvenile court in order to bring the serious behavior at issue into the public eye, and with hopes of avoiding later reclassification of the case to juvenile status. Like the idea that, because it doesn't seem like, first off, you have a victim's word about what happened, and that's incredibly powerful. And that's, I'm not a lawyer, but I think we see a lot of these cases and the directions that they go. Then to your point, I mean, there's forensic evidence here about especially for the girl who was strangled. And then there's video evidence as well, it seems, because he recorded it and admitted to all of this. It just, like, the idea that it's the statement comes off as belittling the word of someone saying that they had this done to them, where it's like, well, these consensual relationships, you know how they go. And it just, I don't know how this was received when it was put out in December, but it's kind of interesting to read that. And then kind of hearing what you're saying, it just seems like the old DA's office had a very different tone about this case compared to the new one.
Correct. And I remember when this statement came out, because I ripped it apart online, because it's another one of those things, in my opinion, when it came out, was like, let's just try to CYA. I think that this statement was at the time trying to diffuse all the this was going very viral around that time. And I think that they were trying to diffuse that. And I think that all they did was pour fuel on a fire. And I also want to go back and say something too. They didn't discuss this with the victims' families, despite what she says. And it wasn't agreed upon. And, something else that I didn't mention earlier, when you're talking about the girl who was strangled, I don't remember if it was 10 seconds or 30 seconds, but the doctor said had he gone like another 10 seconds or 30 seconds, again, it doesn't matter, it's a minuscule amount of time, that she would no longer be here. So yeah, you have the scars, you have a medical professional saying what happened, you have the physical evidence, the forensic evidence. You also had a victim impact statement, which I read from one of the girls, which was incredibly powerful. And they still let this happen. Now, going to your point about the way that this office handled it, at the same time this was going on, there was another attorney, a prosecutor that worked in the office who had been arrested a couple years prior for possession of CSAM, sexual abuse material. And that office kept delaying his court date. So what it kind of seems to me is that when it came to predators, from what we've seen, and this is even what got the attention of State Representative J.J. Humphrey from Oklahoma, who's also running for, I think, Lieutenant Governor right now, was that there was so much being pushed under the rug and hit and slid around in this particular DA's office that things really just weren't kind of on the up and up. I'm not going to call it corruption straight out, but that was kind of where things started being alluded to. Going to what you were saying about this new DA actually was sworn in this past Friday.
Okay,
And
so
he inherited this case. And I don't know if this is jumping the gun a little bit, but when Derek Chance, Jesse's attorney, was making all of those statements in court about how wonderful Jesse and his family were, how much grace he showed, Jeremiah Gregory, the new DA, called him on that and said, I'll be issuing a statement. And boy, did he issue a statement. And I'm sure you're going to get to it, but he says, I can't change the terms of what happened here, due to double jeopardy. Our U.S. Constitution protects us from double jeopardy, so he can't really do anything about that. But he said, basically, the federal government is a separate sovereign, and I'll be referring it to the federal government.
Yeah, and it was a scathing statement. And also, he kind of talked about where the defense attorney wasn't expected to make the type of statement that he did in court.
I can't hear nothing.
I was muted. I said it wouldn't surprise me if you don't get a scholarship now that everything's been washed to the side. He has no record, don't have to be a sex offender, no registry, and maybe he's a baseball player, goes to play baseball, let's just say in Alabama, and his family picks up and goes because his dad was high up at LSU. That's how he got the job at OSU. Will his whole family up and move again for him to do it in another state?
Yeah, mommy will go wherever he goes. Mommy's boy.
Yeah, what I'm saying is he's got no record.
Right.
It's gone. It's going to be gone.
Oh, it won't be long until he picks one up.
Man, I would hate to see him pick up another one just because that would be another victim. Okay,
I know, but I know that's the only way he's going to get charged is to get another victim. But 9 times out of 10, that's what happens.
Yeah, he's going to be a habitual offender. I think he's going to do it again. I believe that too.
That day for all of this, and I just wonder. I mean, and who knows? It's in the past now, but it's like if this case didn't get national attention, like is that how this deal kind of went through? And you think of how many deals are out there that don't make it, on your social media or on our YouTube page where they don't get the attention, and it's something where a DA's office just makes a deal. A place like Stillwater gets a lot of attention because of college football, but also a very small community. Like how often, had you not brought this forward and some of the other creators out there that really put a lot of attention on it, is this a case that just goes on and people forget about it? And maybe that's what they thought was going to be the case.
I think that that's what they were hoping for. And I think that they weren't anticipating the amount of response, but it is enraging, especially because, you look at, when you look at the statistics, it's for girls who get abused, it's 1 in 4 and then 1 in 8 for boys. And I think that you have a lot of people who look at this and say, what the hell is this? And it's enraging. I don't know how you can hear what happened to these kids and not be just absolutely, filled with anger and disbelief. And I think that that's kind of what happened here. And to your point, and if I may say this, Jesse Butler, there's another person, Camden Dean Dolly, there's another, a few other things that happened, back when this all started going down that I got so enraged about. I was like, there has to be a change. So I actually started a petition to end these easy plea deals for these people who hurt kids, regardless of their age, whether it's sexual abuse, physical abuse. And if people want to add their signature to it, it's at change.org/end plea deals. Sorry, shameless plug. But I'm trying to get to 500,000 signatures before January. But the point to all of this is that I think a lot of them get brushed under the rug. I think that a lot of them, just go through the system because the way prosecutors' office, DA's offices look at this, they just want to win. They want to be able to go to their constituents and say, look at what a great job I'm doing. Do you see all of these wins that I have here in this category? And even if the plea deal makes no sense, like in Jesse's case, well, we had this violent offender. We prosecuted him successfully because by him taking that plea deal, that's now a guilty plea. That's what we prosecuted the successfully plea. And for them, and that can put that on their record. And that's really what they're going for. They're not going for justice or accountability, in my opinion. They're going for, let's check a box so that we can get reelected or reappointed because look at how tough I am on crime, even if the punishment doesn't fit the crime.
Yeah.
Now, so Beach Baby says, yeah, but do you think people don't know his history? Well, there's still a lot of people in Oklahoma that don't know who the hell Jesse Butler is, let alone if he goes clear across the United States. What if he goes to Hawaii to play baseball? What I'm saying is I see his family probably picking up out of Oklahoma and moving somewhere else. That's where we got to follow him and make sure where he goes that everybody knows what he did.
There's a lot of people that don't watch crime and everything. Look at all them jurors that we get. They go, oh, we're never going to get a jury. It's too well known. And all these juries said, I never heard of it, or I just heard one little thing. I don't watch crime. I don't watch TV. There's tons of people out there that don't. They got a life. They don't like that kind of thing. But mind you, with stuff like this happening, you should be watching it because people like those people that aren't watching it can't do nothing about it because they don't know nothing what's going on in the world. Justice. We're seeking justice.
Yep.
They didn't even put him in a juvenile detention for at least until he was 21. They didn't even do that for a juvenile. I mean, they had that choice.
He didn't even do his required counseling because they couldn't find the exact one for him.
No, that's bull. That's bull, though. They sure could have. If you couldn't find one nearby, then you better start traveling then and get it done.
I think there's corruption everywhere, but it seems like there's a lot in Oklahoma. A lot.
I bet they looked it up. I bet if somebody looked it up, like, Jesse right there, if he looked it up and tried to get a hold of somebody there, I bet you he would find somebody. Just that they couldn't find nobody. Oh, shit.
No, I don't know if you heard me a while ago, but the DA that was the DA there 3 years ago got charged with child sexual crimes on his computer. He just got sentenced in May to 20 years. Took 3 years to sentence that DA. Same county.
You mean it took him three years to sentence him, or 3 years for it to come to trial?
3 years to sentence him.
Sentence him? How can that take long? It's supposed to only take weeks.
I sure can. Okay, let's finish this.
Yeah, they might be getting a bit old.
Certainly with the statement of the new district attorney, the story of Jesse Butler and this deal that went down, it's not over just yet. Justin Shepard, you can find him just in the nick of crime on social media. You do a great job bringing light to a lot of these stories. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Joining us now to talk more about this case is an attorney for one of the victims, Rachel Bussett. Thank you for taking the time to be with us here on Law and Crime. You were at this hearing yesterday. walk us through, because cameras weren't allowed inside, of just what were the moments that stood out to you?
Sure. So the first thing was the court asked for a report from OJA, the Oklahoma Juvenile Authority, about Butler's progress through his probation. They gave a report that, in their opinion, he had completed everything without any violations. There was a
Okay, her mic, this attorney's mic is cutting out. It's their end, not me.
question.
Oh, I thought it was me.
Number
I just changed my
treatment
ears.
sessions he had completed. There was a statement made about 16 out of 52. It was unclear to me if it was 16 he had completed since the last check-in or 16 total, but there was that discussion. Then the court offered everybody the opportunity to weigh in about whether or not there were any violations. After that was done, the court then went to the district attorney about whether or not they were seeking a bridging motion in order to take him into an adult sentence. The DA talked about that statute, and then the court allowed each party to make remarks. And so from the DA, it went to the defense counsel, then the newly elected district attorney made some comments, and then I was allowed to make a comment, and then the court gave its ruling.
What did you say to the court?
Well, Chris, I really wasn't expecting to get an opportunity to speak. I don't know if you've heard, the defense counsel made some pretty surprising remarks about the alleged.
Listen, again, she needs to fix her mic. Her mic sucks. He's not cutting out. So it's not a StreamYard deal. It's a her deal. Kind of like a Journey deal. Quit moving around so we don't have to hear all that static.
Everybody's not better start cutting in and out. Make a song about cutting in and out.
We're gonna try to finish this. Yeah, it's your mic, and then this lady has a horrible mic. You two are the problem. You two women are the problem here.
You women.
In a sense,
I found my mind. I found my mind.
Compliance, which really threw everyone off. And then the newly elected district attorney made some remarks. So I was kind of at the end and a little bit caught off guard. But really what I talked about was that, my clients and I respected the role that each party has in the process, and whether or not.
Is this attorney really trying to say she didn't realize she was going to be able to talk? Listen, if I was these girls' attorney, and that defense attorney got up there and said that shit, I don't care if I wasn't rehearsed to be able to talk. I'd have something to say.
You have all the right to say anything you want. You're the attorney and spokesperson. You're allowed to talk.
She's saying, well, I didn't realize I was going to have time to say anything. Listen, even if I didn't, yeah, that's what she just said. I didn't realize I was going to have time to say anything. Bullshit. I'd have to.
No wonder nobody goes to bloody prison in that bloody town.
I mean, even the attorney for the victims, shit, she wasn't rehearsed and ready to speak. What the hell?
We liked the outcome. We understood the process. I talked about some very important statistics about intimate partner violence and strangulation that I think are significant and have gotten lost along the way. We talked about the fact that, in my opinion, and I believe under the law, no matter what Mr. Butler or his counselor say, you cannot consent to strangulation, period, at the end. And that, if you're a victim of intimate partner violence that involves non-fatal strangulation, you're 750% more likely to be murdered in the future by that partner, and that those perpetrators who commit non-fatal strangulation are most likely to murder somebody. And that I know that statistic, and as a result, no matter what happens going forward, we will be watching, and if and when this happens again, because statistics tell us it will, we will be there to talk about it and have our voices heard, because this isn't going to happen again to somebody.
And I mean, you're in the room with Jesse Butler as you're saying this. Like, do you believe that he was listening to what you had to say?
No.
What was it, just because we don't have cameras in the courtroom, like what about kind of the way he acted made you feel that way?
There was really no looking at anybody. There was no, people who feel remorse or shame over what's happened, look down, look away, that sort of thing. There was very much a head held high. And you know, the demeanor of an attorney feeling like that they could go in and say the things that needed to be said with the deal that their client got, and all of the things that have happened, in my mind, there was a lot of arrogance and the lack of taking responsibility, as evidenced by the statements made by counsel. You don't go in and do that without talking about what's going to happen.
You know, I want to say this: Law and Crime's better than this. At any other time, they would have stopped what they was filming, went and got her mic right. This is ridiculous. Can't even hardly hear the lady.
Don't they always do mic check, mic check, mic check? Do you know,
Yeah,
it's
it's
professional.
horrible.
They're supposed to be professional.
I'm surprised they even let this video go. It's horrible.
No, it's crazy.
You're gonna try to get through it.
And
They're getting as bad as cold TV.
you have to feel that you have permission to say, I think, and do certain things like that in court. And that attorney felt like, whether it was because of his relationship with the past district attorney or whatever, that he had permission to get up and say and do the things that he did.
And moving forward, I mean, how has kind of where we are at this point, like, how's your client feeling about everything at this time? I mean, she has been through so much, and Jesse Butler is now at this point where he's I know he's under supervision to an extent, but like there's the possibility that he could have his record expunged.
I anticipate he will have his record expunged, though we will fight that in every way that the law allows us to fight it. And keep it out there. The nice thing about the internet is it is forever. And so these girls will keep talking about it. We're moving into the next stage of the litigation. The other victims' counsel filed their civil rights lawsuit last December. That's pending on a motion to dismiss. We have some deadlines that I think expire on Monday as it relates to our tort claim. So if a resolution isn't reached between now and Monday, we will be filing suit to move forward against the school, the city of Stillwater, and the Butler family. And so we'll be seeking civil justice where a criminal didn't give us relief.
What in a perfect world for you now, and I know like perfect world's a tough term to use, all considering everything that's gone down, but like from a civil side, what are you going for? Like, what does justice look like with the situation you're in now?
You know, I think justice looks a lot of different ways. Obviously, we can't undo what's happened to them. These girls want to see change in the school and how things were handled. There's just an absolute denial that they did anything wrong at the school, and that's just not true. It was not investigated ever. It certainly wasn't treated as if Title IX applied. They thought that because that this happened off campus, that they had no responsibility. But the fact of the matter is nobody ever asked whether anything happened on campus, and it did, and the school didn't investigate. There are so many different failings. So it's policy changes, it's implementation, it's coming forth and talking about it. An apology would go a long, long way. And obviously there's going to have to be some form of civil damages that are paid. And what that look like, I think, varies depending on which side of the situation that you're in. But it's my experience that
I thought when you did a plea deal that you had to admit to what you did. I thought that was part of
He did, didn't he?
Well, yeah, but there was no remorse, no apology, no nothing.
No. No, it was done all quietly. It was done all quietly, wasn't it? It was all done and dealt with, and they just went and signed the paper.
Right.
Out you go.
They tried to get this retried because this attorney, who, listen, I'll put her in the same category as Buddy Leach. I don't think she's very good at all. I think she's a horrible attorney. She don't even got a good mic. That's my opinion.
Right, and so we won't hold our breath if she's trying to appeal his sponge record. Yeah, don't hold your breath then. She couldn't even talk when she was allowed to. Oh, I didn't know I was allowed to talk.
Not only that, she's trying to say that her victims wasn't told by the DA what kind of plea deal that was going on.
That's right. It was all done quietly.
But it makes me wonder, how good of an attorney is this lady? Because I'd have been digging and I'd been looking every day, asking every day. Like, I'd have been on top of it. What was she doing?
She's the attorney. She should have been notified.
Exactly.
If the DA is saying we're going to accept the plea deal, we're going to offer it to him, then she should have known. It's a lie. It's all a lie. If you ask me,
I don't really
allegedly.
believe this female attorney. I really don't. Everybody else can, but I really don't. I don't think she did her job the way she should have, in my opinion.
Because all attorneys are meant to know what's going on, are meant to be notified. That's against the law, isn't it? She's lying. I do really think. They're pushing it all over. She's probably been told to do it too. Only goes so far, you know.
How far does
Another
the corruption
crooked one.
go? Does it go all the way to the victim's attorney? I don't know. Let's finish this.
The school thinks that they did nothing wrong and they owe nothing.
Oh,
In the newly sworn in district attorney, I saw that he made a statement where he's going to continue to look into this. He made a mention of potentially seeing if the federal government could file charges. I mean, what are your expectations there about whether that could actually happen?
I understand that that's a long shot, but I've always thought, based on what I know, that that phone has CSAM material on it. And why the prior district attorney didn't pursue that, I don't know, but that is something that I know that the federal government takes very serious, and I hope that they will go in there and look. My client has revealed that we believe that there are photographs of other young women on that phone, and if there are other women in Stillwater, young girls that are young women that were under the age of 18 that believe that this man might have had photographs of them, whether they sent it or otherwise, on his phone, I would encourage them to come forward and talk to the authorities.
And get a different attorney.
And,
Don't get hurt.
You know, if somebody showed photos of my client to them, from if Mr. Butler showed photos of my clients, I would ask those individuals who were shown to come forward to talk about it, because that wasn't consensual and it's not appropriate, and we need to get to the bottom of it. I really hope that the feds will look into it, and if there's something there, pursue it.
And in December, the previous district attorney, where this plea deal was brokered, that allowed him to have youthful offender status, she put out a statement saying that part of the reason it went in this direction was because she spoke with victims' family members about, you know, it makes it seem like it was kind of this collaborative effort and a decision going
There's an echo, but I don't know if it's on their end or not.
forward. From your perspective, what was the communication like with the previous DA leading into the decision for the case to go in this direction?
Well, there were lots of discussions or meetings. I don't think that there was an actual true communication, and I think that they were told one thing when something else was happening in the background, because my clients have maintained that all the way up until the time that they were walking into the courtroom, they believed that there was going to be a guilty plea or the possibility of a guilty plea.
I got to ask, how long was this lady their attorney? Said her clients told her, wasn't she their attorney? Like the attorney?
Until they walked into that courtroom that day, that there was going to be a no contest ruling or no contest plea. But everything that I am learning as we're going through this is it was always the intent of the former district attorney, at least Miss Laura Austin Thomas, that this was going to be a no contest plea, and that was not communicated to my clients. My clients believed it was going to be guilty, as to the other victim.
Why was that the plan for the former DA to take this case in that direction?
Well, I think that's the $1 million question. Why is that? I don't know.
And then just lastly, for people who have maybe seen this story, maybe this is the first time that they're kind of digesting everything that's happened over the past several months.
I mean, she possibly could have lost this case for him too. I wonder how long she was their damn attorney. She sucks. My opinion. I know
that there's only so much you can share, but how has what happened to your client and everything that's gone on up until yesterday had an impact on her life?
I mean, it's completely changed the course and direction of her life. The sexual assaults aside, she did the thing that we tell young men, young women, adults everywhere. When this happens to you, you come forward and you tell us, and you'll be protected. And unfortunately, that's not what happened. She was put back one day later with her assailant in the classroom. She had to go to school with him for 2 weeks with absolutely no protection. Then the only protection that was done was to take him out of the classroom. There was nothing put in place about passing
Why
through the
didn't she
hallways,
put a restraining order on
him
him?
extracurricular activities, all that. She lost her high school experience from September 12th, 2024 forward. She didn't get to walk across the stage. She didn't get to go to junior prom. She didn't get to go to senior prom. She didn't get to participate in all of these extracurricular activities. So the assaults aside, which completely changed her life, and really soured her on romantic relationships, the institutional betrayal of trust by the school and the police department for how this was handled is just immeasurable, and it's the opposite of everything that it's supposed to be when you go forward to a trusted institution and say, I've been hurt.
Rachel Bussett, attorney for one of the victims in the case of Jesse Mack Butler.
That's
Thank you
over.
for taking the time.
That was hard to listen to.
That was horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Oh,
I don't
but we
like
got
the
the
way
gist of it.
you said, well, the victims was under the assumption you're their attorney. Did you not tell them what was going on? What? I don't understand.
Yeah, what's she saying they were under the assumption? Wait a minute, you're the lawyer. You're acting on behalf of them. Listen, it's no good
Right.
talking now. You should have done it long before. You should have got restraining order. You should have done all that you could to make it hard for him to be around.
Mm-hmm. Now I want to play this. This is the same courthouse. A former DA, of course, he lost his job. This was 3 years ago. The same courthouse, Payne County. Look at this. This is what you're dealing with when you go to the area of Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Got everybody a little flat-footed.
That's why it's not Stillwater.
James has known Kevin Etherington for about 20 years. Those in Oklahoma law were stunned about the arrest of the Payne and Logan County assistant DA.
You know, he's always been very fair. No one's ever had a vibe or something, something wrong with him.
However, the OSBI says on September 1st, 14 came in from the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. This search warrant, obtained by News 4, says the first tip came from Google in late July. Documents say more than 150 videos and photos of child porn were found on his Google Drive account. In a statement, his boss says, quote, I cannot express how dismayed and disappointed I am about this development. My review of the investigation has resulted in the person's dismissal from employment by my office. Etherington's legal record and work history are not spotless. This letter shows he was fired as a prosecutor in the Oklahoma County DA's office in 2010. Then, in 2017, he was charged with a felony, accused of stealing $30 worth of carjacks from his ex-wife's home without asking. Those charges were later dropped. Until his firing this week, Etherington had been the assistant district attorney for Payne and Logan counties for about 8 years. As for the cases he's working,
Any pending cases in Payne and Logan County will be reassigned by the district attorney to some other assistant to handle. I cannot see any realm of how this would affect any pending case.
News 4 also asking James how this could impact any cases Etherington has tried in the past.
I can see someone obviously raising it for some type of question, but you'd have to look at those on a case-by-case basis. What would be the allegation? Was he harsher? Was he more lenient?
And the DA has asked Attorney General John O'Connor to assign this case to another district. In Stillwater, Caitlin Ogle, Oklahoma's News 4.
Again, that was the same courthouse. He just finally got his sentencing in May.
That's crazy. That's too crazy. I don't understand it. That's crazy.
He got arrested September 1st, 2022. And just got his sentencing. That's nuts.
It is.
Yeah, he wasn't found guilty till March 5th of 2026. That's how long they put it off. Got arrested September 2022. Finally, he was found guilty March 5th of 2026, 4 years later. And then in May, he was sentenced.
He was out on bond all that time, right?
He got 20 years and $20,000 fine on May 8th, 2026. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy.
And they'll probably find some excuse to let him out early.
It sounds like they didn't even want to try him. They thought just firing him would be enough. Are you kidding me? This is crazy.
And that's why this happens with these girls.
Sad.
That's why.
Sad. I still wish the girls would have got a better attorney though. I don't think that lady did them any favors. I don't think she helped them much. That's my opinion though. It's my opinion.
Well,
So
I hope she's not representing them in the civil suit. If she representing them in the civil suit, I probably won't get a dime.
This is crazy. Faye Hawkeye says, what once was good is now evil, and what was evil is now good, in my opinion. World is upside down. I agree with that. So there was also a pediatrician out of Oklahoma City who went on vacation in Florida, and her 3-year-old drowned. Do you remember that case?
Yeah.
Anyway, she said that they said the 3-year-old drowned. Come to find out, the girl didn't drown. She's arrested. She's having problems in jail of getting beat up, so they're trying to find a place to move her.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Of course she got rest. She's a baby, you know what? And yeah, them women ain't gonna like her. And yeah, well, solitary confinement for her then. Make sure she's safe.
Now, this is what I pulled this up earlier. This just talks about the cameras in the courtroom in Oklahoma and where we're at with it. So I'm going to play it too, just to catch everybody up.
New at 5, Senate bill that would create a pilot program for a small number of courtrooms to record, even broadcast their court proceedings, passed out of committee this week. Now lawmakers will decide if it becomes law.
The bill has sparked some debate on privacy and transparency inside the Oklahoma justice system. Fox 23's Devin Lyon talked to the Broken Arrow state lawmaker behind the bill and a legal expert about this. He joins us live in studio with both sides of this debate.
Yeah, and while there's a bit of a road ahead for this piece of legislation, it's one step closer to becoming law. Efforts for this change have been made in the past, but now state lawmakers are trying to start small and find out how this change could work inside the Oklahoma court system.
I just thought, you know what, this is kind of the natural process for transparency throughout our judicial process, is for there to be video recording in the courtrooms.
State Senator Christy Gillespie is the author behind the Courtroom Transparency Act, which would allow cameras in courtrooms. The bill here reads, the Supreme Court shall establish a pilot project for the use of audio and video recording equipment capable of broadcasting and live streaming in courtrooms. It passed out of the Senate's Judiciary Committee on Tuesday.
So what we started with was a minimum of 12 courtrooms, with a preference for courtrooms that do not have a court reporter.
But not just for transparency. Gillespie says it could alleviate the burden of the court reporter shortage.
I do not want to replace court reporters. That is not the aim, the goal of this bill.
Crazy.
But the reality of our world today is that we do have a court reporter shortage, and it is slowing down our judicial process.
Of Oklahoma's 197 court reporter positions, more than 70 are vacant, leaving some courtrooms without a record.
There's been a huge problem with the shortage of court reporters in Oklahoma, so much so that it's prevented hearings from happening various times because they couldn't find a court reporter to be present.
Attorney James Worth says this could solve multiple issues in Oklahoma's judicial system. Others have urged caution, citing concerns about victim and witness privacy and who can request access to the recordings. Is there any concerns when it comes to privacy in the court?
No, I mean, the concern would be a lack of privacy in the court. At least from my point of view, there's been plenty of proceedings in court where I've been in there that I'd love to have a record of those things. And those don't exist. And right now, there's no uniformity under the law as far as when courts are present or when cameras are present or when they're not.
We are still protecting victims. We're protecting witnesses. And that is very important to me.
But supporters say it's protecting the rights of those in court, not hurting them.
Quite frankly, Oklahoma needs to come into the 21st century so we can see what is going on in our courtrooms, for us to keep an eye on what's going on with our elected officials like judges and district attorneys.
This is video from a rally last year in Tulsa calling for courtroom accountability, specifically for cameras in courtrooms.
But really, this was just about ensuring that we can continue our judicial process, that we can keep moving forward when there's not a court reporter for the courtroom.
Now, Oklahoma is one of 5 states that don't already have laws like this one in place. It's next headed to the Senate Appropriations Committee, where they will try to fit it into an already razor-thin state budget. If it eventually does become law, it will cost a max of about $4 million to the state. Live in studio covering news that matters, Devin Lyon, Fox 23 News.
Most courtrooms have cameras already, but those are only for security. A judge can also allow public cameras into a courtroom like a news camera already in Oklahoma, but it is not common for them to do so. You can find the full legislation and our interview with Senator Gillespie in this story on fox23.com.
Again, Oklahoma is ranked number 50 out of 50 states. They're the lowest in education. So whoever you guys are voting into your politics and governing your state, man, you need to get some smarter people in there to start pressing your education. I mean, that would suck to be number 50 out of 50, the worst. That's horrible. That's horrible. Now, I come across one more thing that I have on my screen that I want to share, and it's about a plea deal that is being pulled. And it makes me question the plea deal that Granny did. Was the victim's family aware of the plea deal? And did they accept that plea deal? How does that work? I'm not real sure, but I want to show you guys this. A judge revoked this plea deal. Here it is. Oh, nope, that ain't it. Well, maybe it is. Okay. Court records filed Monday show Nolte was set to take a plea deal in the case, but that was taken off the table. Those records said that Washington's family claimed they were not consulted about the plea offer from the state to Nolte. I do believe the DA's office felt like they had communicated what they are required to do, but us as a family did not feel like we had that chance. But today all was resolved, Holy Washington, Jacob Washington's aunt said. Now the case will go to a jury trial and will not end in a plea deal. So what they're saying is that the DA did not discuss with the family the plea deal. So now the judge has yanked that plea deal. So like the plea deal with Granny, was that discussed with the families? I don't know. I'm not real sure how that works.
Well, I've heard that other plea deals, they don't have to inform the family what they do. They don't. When they make a plea deal, they make the plea deal between them. That's it. And they don't discuss it with the family. They said that's just the way it is.
But these plea deals are not set in stone. These plea deals are not done until all these trials are done, and then the judge decides whether he's going to accept the plea deal or not. It's all up to the judge now whether he accepts the plea deal.
Oh yeah. If they go for a plea deal, then they have to go towards the judge. Before the judge, and the judge can reject it. He says, "No way, I'm accepting that." Yeah, the judge can not accept a plea deal. Yeah, he can. That's right.
If I was a family member of Jilian or Veronica, I'd be throwing a fit about these plea deals. And I tell you what, I'd wake up in the morning and listen until I went to bed. I would be having my voices heard. How upset if they're upset with the plea deals, because Again, I don't know how Granny got a plea deal where she don't even have to testify against her co-conspirator.
No, I don't know how she got her plea deal. I don't know. That was just wiped under the mat. That was a done deal, and she was sent off and don't have to do anything.
Listen,
Nothing.
a lot of times, even the judges, they don't do shit until people start causing a ruckus. Okay?
Right.
And anyway, if I'm the family and I'm against them plea deals and I want everybody charged and not these sweet plea deals, I'm reaching out. I'm going on every TV I can. I'm recruiting everybody I can. And I'm letting it be known how I'm not happy with it. If they're not. I don't
But
know.
the judge
I don't know how
accepted
to
it.
feel.
That happened so fast, and the judge he
The judge
accepted
has
it.
not accepted it. The judge
Well,
don't
it
accept
happened.
it until the other trials are done. These plea deals are not set in stone. They still have to go to court. They still have
Oh,
to.
yes. What I understand is, yes, that is correct. But the thing is, she don't have to testify, and that's not normal. So what is she? Because normally a witness or somebody, they pled guilty, took the plea deal, whatever, and then they say you have to tell the truth, the whole truth when you go to court, and stand up in that witness stand. And she don't have to do that. So I don't understand that part. Because normally, once you do that and you lie and you prove to yourself, the deal is over. You know, you're going to trial. The deal is over.
Well, I just
But
know.
they got nothing to bargain with her. There's nothing to bargain with her, is there?
Well, you
Nothing.
know, it makes me think about the case of Valdez, the little girl who was found out in the field. Anyway, and now the boys are being charged for giving her meth. London Valdez. I remember her mom and some recorded videos of her and Buddy Leach, and the way Buddy Leach talked to her was crazy. As a DA, he wanted to know why her daughter was out. Like, he was blaming the mom. I'm just kind of curious if the DA got with the family members and told him he was doing plea deals to begin with. Does he have to? I don't know. I'm not an attorney, but if I was a family member and I wasn't happy with the plea deals, I would let it be known that I'm not happy. And like I said, I'd be going on every camera I could and talking to everybody I could, telling them this plea deal, I'm not okay with it.
Let the whole world know. Get signatures. Get the signatures. Petition.
Yeah,
Petition.
because their plea deals are not set in stone. You know, we had a judge, he's retired now, Kaufman. His wife is part of the Carneys, which they're very rich. Her dad, his wife's dad started Pizza Hut. So they got a lot of money. But Kaufman, a lot of times, if he felt like the plea deal was not fair to the victims, that day in court, he said, I'm not accepting a plea deal. We're going to trial. That could still very well happen, but I don't think it'll happen in Oklahoma. Because it seems like they all are buddy-buddy. They all know each other. Let's not forget that the judge that is hearing this case was actually Granny's divorce attorney back in the day. I thought that was a conflict of interest, but it was thrown out that it's not. But she had hired him as her divorce attorney, and now he's the one doing this trial. It's weird. I just find it all weird.
Yeah, that is shady. He should have excused himself.
Even with that, again, you know, listen, I know the families have been through a lot. I get that. And I'm not trying to dog them at all. I just know me. If that was my family members, oh, hell, you could not shut me up. Period. That would be what I'd wake up to do, is voice my opinion. That's what I'd
That'd
live
be your mission
for,
every day.
my opinion.
You'd be on a mission every day.
I mean, yeah, they've been through a lot. I get it. I don't know how any of them feel about the plea deals. I really don't. I just know how I'd feel. And I don't think it's right. But we'll see. We'll see what happens out of it. Other than that,
They all get
you want to talk
behind
about?
bars for life.
I think I got everything that I was going to bring up.
As long as they get life, and mostly all of their life, because they're middle-aged, so if they get 40 years, that's just life for them. Put them away. No
Well,
appeals.
we got two.
No early out.
That's not how it works, Journey. We got two that's going to trial. We better have a good
Yeah, I know
DA.
that.
Because
No, that's what I'm saying. I said I hope they all go away for life. That would be okay, but
see, I lean more towards that I want cameras in the courtroom. The reason being so everything's transparent. Whether you got a fucked up DA that's not very good or not, I still would rather have cameras in the courtroom so that we as the public can see how a judge conducts his courtroom, how the DA
And you
acts,
can,
how the
yeah,
defense
and
acts.
you can see it and you hear it with your own ears, not third party, right?
Yeah, 'cause
You can
I'm going to
see
tell
it.
you. So there was a couple creators that was in the courtroom, and I wasn't there at the time that this happened. I just had surgery, but they said that Cole Twombly's attorney was flirting with him, rubbing his head, rubbing his back. Did that really happen? Oh, if we had had cameras in the courtroom, we all would have saw it, right?
Yes, yes, we would have, because you know the cameras that would have been on it at some point. Yeah, they would have.
And not
You'd be
only
like,
that,
hey, what's going on here?
not only that, I can be sitting in the courtroom and Justified can be sitting in the courtroom. She can hear something totally different than I heard.
Yeah, that's right.
But if you have cameras in the courtroom, we all hear it. We can go back and listen to it again.
Yeah.
We can listen to it
Yeah.
again after that until we know exactly what was done in the courtroom.
Yeah, we can do the replay until we understand what the hell they said. Speed it up, slow it down, everything.
Not only that, if you're sitting in the courtroom as media and you got somebody sitting behind you that's coughing, they're going to overshadow what you can hear clear up on the testifying stand.
Especially if the courtroom has bad speakers.
Well, this courtroom's really small. So what I'm saying is, if you have somebody that close to you and they start coughing,
Yeah.
you're not going to hear testimony because you're going to hear.
No, you say, sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't hear it. Somebody was coughing in my ear.
And listen,
It'd
I'm
be like that.
bad. When I know I'm not supposed to cough, that's when my throat itches. I always have to put a cough drop in because I know that I'm going to want to cough because I know I can't.
Yeah, you say don't cough, and you're like, oh, what trying not to, and then it's all in the mind, isn't it? You got to cough.
Right, I go in with a pocket full of cough drops because I know I'm going to cough.
Right.
I don't know.
You get a dry throat.
If I was an Oklahoma citizen, I'd really be pressuring for cameras in the courtroom. I really would, because that way it's transparent and everybody can see everything. You won't have this under the table deals type of deal. You'd be able to see it all.
Plus some of the family members might not be able to travel. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. And they want to watch it on TV, but they can't. They either got to travel and be in the courtroom, or you don't hear it at all.
Or, for example, so Tad's defense attorney said that Buddy Leach violated the gag order. Judge ruled he did. Well, if that would have been on recording as to, if Cora believed that her plea deal was that her daughter would not have to testify, they'd be able to go back and watch that and correct it. It wouldn't be all hearsay.
Just like the Corey one that just happened. What her lawyer said. Oh, we had to watch all the case back, because it was being live streamed, and they went through it all. And picked it.
Well, I know I'm not the only one that watches Law and Crime or court TV. If there's a live trial, like the one where the girl killed her stepdad and mom, it just started Monday. I've been watching that trial. That's an interesting trial.
Is it?
Her dad don't think she did it.
Well, of course he don't. So we're seeing. I don't know.
It's going to be interesting. But
I think it will be interesting.
Listen, we got flock cameras everywhere recording us. Most everybody's got a cell phone. Why not put cameras in the courtroom? You're being recorded everywhere you go anyway. Why not in the court of law where everybody can see what's going on?
Yeah, and I thought that was a new way to go. That was a new way to go.
You ain't got nothing to hide. Throw them cameras in the courtroom and let it go. Now, do I
And
put cameras in a courtroom?
What happened if you really do want to go to court, though?
No.
What happens when all the public really wants to go to court and watch the trial live? They can't because they pick a room that is so small they only can fit a few people in.
Listen, I'm going to smart off and I'm going to be a real shit right now, but I think you and that attorney's got the same mic. Your mic is just as bad as hers.
Listen, I have to look. Listen, I had to fish for my mic. I found it. I hid it all the way back. I took I went into the storage downstairs and I went, where's my mic? Where's my mic? I found it. I
Well,
brought it
whatever you're
upstairs.
using right now is horrible. It's very, very staticky.
I don't know what's wrong with them because I charged them on my earpieces. I don't know what's happening. I think they're getting old or something.
Is the chat hearing all that static? Maybe it's just me that hearing it, but I don't think so.
Maybe we got interference, you know.
You do. I think you do. And
No,
that was
because I hear just fine.
that attorney had a bad mic because Jesse sounded good.
She started it, that fucking woman, with her damn mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know, when you see something and you want, just like when somebody tells you don't sneeze and you want to sneeze, well, the mic's the same way. You got a bad mic? Now everybody's got a bad mic.
Well,
no, but it was annoying because it was really something really interesting, wasn't it? You know, something really interesting, and we're like,
I don't know what
oh my God.
Faye, I don't know what you mean it's been happening. That was a video that was pre-recorded. It was all staticky. Am I staticky? No. Is Journey staticky? I believe so. Faye says
I just like to go in and out, in and out, in and out. No.
But it's not.
I have to go on my journeys again. You know, I have to go on my journey.
StreamYard. If it was StreamYard, I'd be staticky too, and I'm not. I just muted and turned my TV up. I'm clear, but you're not. So it's not StreamYard. It's not StreamYard. Listen, I'm not trying to get on to you. I'm just saying it's not clear. It is what it is.
It's the price you pay for my company.
Listen, let me tell you the price I'm paying. Okay, let me just show you guys. I'm gonna show you. Oh, wait till you see this.
Come on.
Wait till you guys see this, and then you'll.
It's not like I say a lot. It's not like I say a lot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. let me tell you where my mind's at here lately.
Okay, tell us. Come on.
I'm gonna tell you right now. And listen, I'm an irritable bitch right now. I'm so fed up. I'm so fed up. You know, it started getting cooler in the nights where you can actually get the air conditioner break. I love having my windows open.
Mm-hmm.
I can't, and I'm getting really irritated. And even with the windows, even with the windows closed, there's one thing that just keeps happening. And
what's
this
that?
is it. Here we go. I'm gonna say it. Here it goes.
Peaky Toms.
Well, here I go again. The weather finally cooled off. Thought I'd crack open the windows, but nope. There it goes. Yap, 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 yap. All night long. Fall breeze blowing, windows wide. Perfect night to sleep outside. Moonlight shining, stars so bright. Then Cujo Jr. starts his fight. Barking at the wind, barking at the moon. Barking at a trash can Tuesday afternoon. If barking was a full-time job, that little rascal'd be the boss. Shut your dog up. Shut your dog up. Give the rest of us a little luck. Shut your dog up. Shut your dog up. My patience is finally run amok. I love dogs, don't get me wrong, but this one's got a megaphone. Lord have mercy, bless my soul. Somebody unplug that bar control. I tried earplugs, didn't work. Turned the TV up, didn't work. Fan on high, didn't work. Started barking back. Now who is the crazy one? Shut your dog up. Everybody sing it. Fill your cup. Shut your dog up. Before I start barking right back at the mutt. One day maybe he'll run out of gas. Till then I'll just laugh and raise my glass. Here's to quiet nights whenever they come. But until then, yap, 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 yap. Yap, yap, yap. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think think I will just go puff, puff, pass. Then let it sink in.
Now you know why I'm so crabby. That fucking dog. I'm so sick of that dog. That dog barks all day, all night, never shuts up. It's out there barking now. Smith's in here whining because he can hear it barking. It's crazy. Definitely tired of it. All right, guys. Well, Journey is on mute. I probably gave her too much of a hard time for her mic. Sorry, Journey. It is what it is. It's got static. Anyway, guys, we will see you on... Smith, stop. I know. Smith didn't like that song either. He did not like that song. But we'll be live Thursday. If there's anything else that you guys want to cover or talk about, we can do that. Let's look in here. All right. We're going to be out of here. I'm going to play one last song. We'll get out of here. What one do we want to play? You have a wonderful evening, too. I love you guys. I love you, girly girl. Love everybody. Just trying to see here. I made a bunch of songs for Gail. I want to make sure I don't share that. Let me see here if I see what I did as far as songs that I want to share. I already did the Boogie Woogie. What do you guys think of that one? Let's see here. There was a birthday one. What is this one? Let's see what this one is. I'm not sure what this one is. Hold on, let me see what this one is. Oh. Okay, well, let's see here. I'll find us a good one. And it's quiet. We'll just do this one.
When the lights come on and the cameras roll, there's a fire burning in every soul. From Wichita nights to hearts worldwide, the Rock Chalk family is along for the ride. Different stories, different roads we walked, different dreams and different ways we've talked. But one thing brings us all together tonight. Love shines brightest when we hold it high. No hate, no fear, only hope when the family is here. Every Tuesday, every Thursday night, we're lifting each other into the light. Love louder, let the whole world hear. Turn it up so loud that it drowns out fear. Hands in the air, hearts on fire. We're reaching higher,
it's heavy, we'll carry the load. When someone stumbles, we'll help down the road. We'll cheer the victories, cry through the pain, and keep showing up again and again. Because family isn't measured by blood alone. It's every heart that makes this feel like home.
Nothing but dancing to lose. Girly girl 420 with a smile so bright. Jezebel witch bringing the rhythm tonight. Sherry Berry laughing, feeling alright. 620 country boy rocking the night. Gizzy girl moving beats, baby too. Noel and Leroy joining the crew. Band start jumping, the room comes alive. Everybody dancing when that piano drive. Love louder, clap your hands, grind all night. Everybody's dance, shake it to the left, shake it to the right. Rock Chalk families have a party tonight. The piano's rolling, the bass is tight. We're gonna boogie till the morning light. Polo's porch and quiet, Crucifer step inside. Jason and Gail taking that ride. JD 704 and Journey bringing the sound. Flower days are spinning everybody around. 99 Customs got the jukebox hot. Julie 99 dancing like she never stops. Bonnie and Ball and Butts feeling the groove. Crush Dice showing everybody how to move. Blueberry bringing that California breeze. MDK Peg moving with ease. B Miller Mutts bringing the family flame. Pop Panda worldwide knows the name. Roll those keys, let that piano fly. Hands in the air, we're reaching the sky. Love louder, singing proud. Rock Chalk family, hear the crowd. Grind all night, never slow down. Best little boogie party around. Love louder, grind all night. Rock Chalk family, dancing through the night.
All right, we're out of here. B Millie is live. If you guys want to go over to B Millie, I was trying to get the link for you, but my computer seems to be stuck. I don't know what its problem is. Again, B Millie is live right now. Go check him out. I'll see you guys over there. If you got
Later,
it,
everybody.
you want to listen to some music, here's the link. Go check out B Millie. I'll see you over there. Much love, everybody. Have a good week. Here is the link to B Millie.
See you Thursday.
That's right. We're out of here.
That's right. Love louder.